During the belt presentation with Asuka, Charlotte shows up out of nowhere, makes her return, comes to the ring, and you know what? Gets a pretty decent ovation from the audience. And she comes out and says that she wants a shot at the title. And Adam Pearce says, well, you have to get in the back of the line. And Charlotte says something that's very true. She goes, I don't wait in line. I made the line, or I am the line, or whatever she says. And that's right. It's the same argument I've made for Cena and Roman in other situations when fans have complained about them. What did Cena do to get a title shot? I'm like, he's a 7-time former champion. I think 7-time former champions can get a title shot whenever they fucking want. And Charlotte has won what? 60? Are we up to 64 or 65 titles now for Charlotte? I forget. So she comes out there, and the funniest part is they've already done the presentation to Asuka. So Asuka's wearing the new belt. The old defunct Raw title is on the podium, and Charlotte says, I want a shot at that title. She points to the dead one. I'm like, the dead one? You can have that one. It's a replica now. Go ahead, take it, Charlotte. And off you go. Have a good one. Charlotte points to the wrong belt. Asuka tries to mist Charlotte. She ducks. She misses the mist. And then Charlotte catches Asuka with a kick to the face and what looked to be heels or something. And Asuka retreats. And now it looks like Charlotte might be getting a title shot against Asuka, but that didn't make Bianca Belair very happy, who's also been promised a rematch against Asuka and should get one for that matter. I mean, this is a woman who held the title for a year. So, you know, you might get Bianca, Charlotte, and Asuka at Money in the Bank, because I don't think Bianca is going to be not booked for Money in the Bank. I mean, that's London. You got to have her there. She's one of your biggest stars. She's not going to be left off the card. So I think it's probably going to be a triple threat. Bianca, Charlotte, Asuka, which honestly, that could be fine. And then if you put the belt on Charlotte that way, you know, whatever, you can do something big at SummerSlam with maybe her dropping the belt or maybe her not. I don't know. Point is, I don't think it would kill WWE to have Charlotte come in and work a program that's not for the championship every now and then. Like, we wouldn't be mad about that. You can totally do it, WWE. This idea that she has to be involved with the title every time. I know we've seen that so many times before with her other major icon stars, the Romans and the Cenas. It's what WWE does, but their inability to conceive any sort of angle, storyline, feud, or issue for Charlotte to be in that doesn't involve a title is a little bit fucking lazy. Because if Charlotte is as great as a performer as she is, she can have compelling storylines. Why don't you try giving Charlotte a story for once? She never has a story. She's always just fighting bitches and winning. That's all she's doing. Winning all the time, championship after championship. You know, and even when they've tried to get personal, it's sucked. They've brought up, you know, Reed Flair before in promos, and there's never been anything really compelling that Charlotte has done. Maybe it's time for Charlotte to start a faction. You know, Roman Reigns is his tribal chief of the bloodline. Maybe Charlotte should do something similar. We never got the 4 horsewomen, but maybe Charlotte now, in the position that she is in, she can use her name and value as rub for younger talent or people coming up from NXT. You know, when God bless Sol Ruca, I'm a big fan of hers. When she gets healthy, I think she's dealing with a knee injury and she's ready and main roster ready. I'd love to see Charlotte befriend her, you know, and then realize, like Farouk realized when he brought The Rock into the nation, that this guy's better than you. And that would be an interesting dynamic, you know, something like that, where if you gave Charlotte a faction or an alliance of some kind, we've never really seen her in a group, right? You know, so maybe if she was the leader of a faction, that could be something for at least the fans to sink their teeth into, because I feel like since Charlotte came in 2015, she has done 8 years of the same shit. Whether she's a heel or a babyface, there's really no difference in her presentation, you know, in her gear, in her look, in her style. It's all the same. And I've always been a big fan of Charlotte. I was a fan of her right from the start. Loved how athletic she was and how good she appeared to be, but she really got hammered down her throats. And like we saw that happen with Cena so much, you can only defend this to a certain point. And with Charlotte, I feel like if she is as great as WWE wants her to be, don't give her just repetitive shit to do year after year after year. I cannot tell the difference between a Charlotte face run and a Charlotte heel run. They look the same to me. So if you gave her something else, that might be more fun. But right back in the title picture, here we go again. Again, something I'm not going to waste my time complaining about, because as long as we've been watching wrestling, we should understand by now how WWE does things. And for the fans to flip out on Twitter, oh, she's getting a title shot again. I'm like, have you not been watching this company for the past 15 years? The fuck do you think they've been doing all this time? This is exactly what they do. It's not new. It's not different. It's what we've all come to expect. Yet people complain like it's the first time WWE's ever done this. So, of course, Charlotte's going to come back and be right in the title picture because she's Charlotte and they're WWE. That's how it works.